So I just left work and I got questions that the students had shared to my account, the one I always use with them. And the questions I'm going to share here are very important to any one of us. And it will be very important for us to go through them and see what we can be able to get as answers to the questions. I'll be able to go through each and every question in a stepwise manner and then see what we expect to get as the answers to the questions shared. And of course, this is the first question. So I've been told that S is equal to A into 1 minus R raised to N, close the bracket, then everything is divided by 1 minus R. So that is the question. And I've been told to make N the subject of the formula. So our question is make N the subject of the formula. We make N the subject of the formula. So at this point, making a letter the subject of the formula means you have to actually isolate it from each and every part of that, then place it on one side of the equal sign. For example, in this case, S is the subject of the formula. We can still make A the subject and still make R the subject or even N. So what do we do then? We are supposed first to open the bracket where necessary, and we shall start and say S is equal to A. Why A? A times 1 is just A. You can say 1A. Less A times R raised to N, that gives us A R raised to N. Then we shall divide all through by 1 minus R. There's no square, there's no square root, we shall just proceed with the working. What do we do next? We are going to actually remove this denominator. So, just a minute. So we have S is equals to. So we shall say times 1 minus R, then we multiply all this 1 minus R. So this and this will disappear. So we'll be left with 1 less R, and we are multiplying this by S, and this must give us 1A minus AR raised to N. Very simple. Let's open the bracket on this side, the left hand side of this working. 1 times S, that is 1S. Okay. Then less R times S, that is RS or SR. That must be equal to 1A minus AR raised to N. The next thing, we are supposed to make N the subject of the formula. We are supposed to ensure that anything that has N is left on one side alone. So what do? We shall take this on this side. So we shall have 1S minus RS minus 1A. Why minus 1A? Because we shall actually assume that this is positive 1A. You see? It actually becomes minus 1A. That must be equal to negative AR raised to N. Next, we will introduce this. We shall divide all through by negative A, divide all through by negative A. So we shall be left with 1S minus RS minus 1A over negative A. The answer must be equal to R raised to N. Then, how do we even drop this N for us to make it the subject of the formula? We shall only be able to drop this power, which is now the one we are supposed to make the subject of the formula, by introducing logarithm. So we shall say log into brackets 1s minus rs minus 1a, then divide this by negative a. So this must be equal to log r raised to n. There's only one way in which n can get dropped as a power, by introducing the logarithm as a very important aspect. So we shall proceed. We shall now have the logarithm of 1s minus rs minus 1a, and everything is divided by negative a, should be equal to the logarithm of r raised to n. We shall drop that n, then we shall have the logarithm into brackets 1s minus rs minus 1a. You divide this by negative a, close the brackets, answer must be equal to n log r. Now to be left alone by n, we shall divide all through by log r. Divide by log r. So that at the end of the day, n getting made the subject of the formula must be able to get written like this. N is equals to the logarithm of, open the brackets, 1s minus rs minus 1a. Then you divide this by negative a, close the brackets, and this is further divided by the logarithm of r. We are not going to simplify anything. We are not going to actually cancel anything, but we shall leave our answer as this, so that you can now have n getting made the subject of the formula. You can still decide to actually work out this part, but still you are advised to leave your answer the way it is, so that you can be able to have n getting made the subject of the formula.